welcome back to my channel. I've been uploading a lot of time lapses of me drawing or painting, and I decided to make a realistic eye drawing tutorial because I thought it would be more helpful. Alright, let's get into it. 1. References. Using a reference is really important because you have to make sure your proportions are accurate. If your proportions are off, then it doesn't matter how well you render your drawing, it's not going to look realistic. 2. Dark outlines. As you can see in the don't side, I had a really harsh and dark outline right off the bat. This is bad because then you can't erase it properly, and then the lines are showing through and you're not building your layers, and it doesn't make it look realistic at all. As you can see in the do side, I have a very light and delicate outline, which I then proceed to fill out and build layers. 3. What you shouldn't do is start filling in an area without building your layers of graphite. When you layer and build, and the end results will become really realistic, and it makes it so that you're not making something dark that doesn't need to be that dark, so you know what you're doing and you're able to plan out beforehand what you're going to do. Drawing realistically takes time. You could have 30, 40, 50 layers on one small drawing, but that's ultimately what's going to make it look more realistic. 4. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I was drawing first was I had a very small range of values. I never had contrast, and contrast is like the difference of night and day within realistic drawing, and between if it's going to be realistic or if it's not. If you have really, really dark areas and really, really light areas, it's able to make something seem more realistic than if you were to have all gray. It doesn't make your drawing pop, and it looks flat. 5. Details. This is personally my favorite part of a drawing. When I add details to the drawing, like on the don't side, you can see that I'm doing spider leg eyelashes. That's all I do. I have like very minimal detail in the iris, which is not good. And of course, as you can see, there is no contrast whatsoever. If my only detail are spider leg eyelashes, then it's definitely not going to look realistic, because in real life, you don't have harsh outlines. You don't have straight, flat, all the same size eyelashes. That's not real. On the do side, you can see I'm adding pores and wrinkles and highlights, and I'm making sure to make my eyelashes very many and swift, and letting pressure build and letting pressure go as I'm making the eyelashes. And I'm not doing really controlled eyelashes because in real life it's wispy. It's not going to be a straight harsh line. When I'm adding pores and wrinkles, and the highlights on top of that is what makes all the difference, because if you're able to add those highlights and details along with contrast, details and contrast make the drawing pop so much more, as you can see from the don'ts and the do side. Another thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to be shading consistently. Like, eyelashes in real life are not consistent, and shading in real life is pretty consistent across the skin. There's not going to be really rough areas with your pencil when you're drawing. So if you look at the don't side, at this point in time when I'm doing the details, if you look over at the don't side, it's really rough. I haven't blended it very well. And then when you get to the do side, I've blended it a lot, and you can see the details popping out because of that. But when you have a really rough shading method, you aren't able to add any details without it looking like all over the place, basically. As you can see in comparison, if we're comparing the don'ts and the do's, on the don't, I have completely outlined the waterline in the eye, and on the do side, I haven't outlined it, and it makes all the big difference. Like, that small little thing in the drawing, small little aspect of it makes such a big difference. So you have to make sure you're adding details, but details doesn't mean that you have to outline everything. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. Bye.